Oh, welcome back. It's time to move on to the next round, where we drag some unsuspecting victim into our truth booth. Their identity will be kept a secret, and our panel must try to work out if they owe them an apology. To help you out, here are some clues. Is it the spawn of the devil, a Pratchett hatchet job, or a wannabe bridesmaid? Lucy, your big sorry, please.
I need to say sorry to a very, very good friend of mine, Gemma. Basically, she had an amazing wedding. It was like a dream. She had, like, the big flirty dress and she was getting married in, like, a lovely, like, old hall. And being, like, one of her best friends, she came up to me and said, I've got something to ask you. And I just knew she was going to say, would you be chief bridesmaid or, you know... And I was getting all prepared and she said, would you just read a short poem? And I started to think it's because she's tall and she only wanted tall bridesmaids.
Or she might have heard about you eating cat shit.
I was really upset about it. So I said yes. I made up a short poem and read it out at her wedding.
Yeah?
And it just said, there are people dying, wars being fought, families being torn apart, but you just enjoy yourself.
Strong. Katia, who do you owe an apology to? Oh, dear.
It's the head tilt for me.
OK, so you won't believe this, right, but I'm 42, OK?
My, what?
I know.
Do you know what's unforgivable? The audience not gasping at that.
I know.
Yeah, that was a gasp.
That's all right, because they're all... Anyway, sorry for the digression.
Come on.
So when I was growing up, this kid who was a big bully took my wellies, right, and filled them with tadpoles. Yeah, right. And I thought, I'm not having this.
That's
you must
criminal.
think I'm a dickhead, bro. So I went and I got him, and the pond was in the middle of, like, the playground, and I took him to where it was, and I just held him down. And he had... I was young, you know. I was about 4 or 5, bro.
You were in reception?
Yeah, bro.
And you held his head?
I held his head, and he had a mullet, and it was just going like this.
Can I just say, that's 2 people from her stories now that are now dead.
It's that kind of show, it's a bit of fun.
Like, they ripped me off of him. Yeah. I just remember them shouting and going, she's gone crazy! And then they called my mum, innit? And my mum was like, why, Fatiha, every day? Just like... And then she went, let's go home and watch Dale Winton.
Whatever you say, Fatia. Whatever you say, Fatia, is fine with us. Don't anger her, guys, yeah. Rylan.
It was when I was at secondary school. Our drama teacher, who we absolutely loved, genuine name Miss Cockaday.
Was that a rule she lived by?
You'd have to ask her. We were doing a sort of Year 9 production, and her favourite author was Terry Pratchett. So we were doing a show called Guards, which is one of his plays. And I was playing the lead role in this. Of course it was, hello. And so me and my friend James, one morning, thought it would be really funny to play a little trick on her. We went up to her and went, Miss Cockaday, you're never going to believe what's happening. She went, what? We went, Terry Pratchett's coming to town. She went, what? And we were like, Terry Pratchett is coming to Swan Libraries on the High Street on Thursday.
Believable.
Her eyes filled up.
With tears?
With tears. She was going,
God.
oh, my God, we're going to have to go. We're going to have to go, but she had one chance to meet him. Like, and how crazy that we're doing Guards at the minute. Maybe he could come and see it. Could you imagine he comes to see her? Me and my friend go, what we like, thought nothing of it. And we thought we'd tell her later on. After lunchtime, you go back to your form and you do register.
Yeah.
And sometimes at lunchtime, there's, like, notes that go in the form pigeonholes. My form tutor read out a note and said, oh, X, Y, Z, blah, 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 my name included. On Thursday, you've been excused from periods 1 to 4 because you're in the drama play, and the head of drama, Mr. French, the scariest man alive, has found out that Terry Pratchett is coming to town. Has called the head teacher, Dr. Lloyd. You can imagine, I went to Hogwarts. Basically, that it had been arranged, all letters were going home to our parents, and paid for the costumes to be hired for Thursday morning for all of the cast in full costume to go to Swan Libraries on the High Street to meet Terry Pratchett.
I'm literally itching all over.
No,
This
but
is so awful.
it went from something that we thought was funny to fuck. And we went into the drama office and Miss Cockaday was there and Mr. French, who...
Oh, so they brought in the big boys.
Yeah, the first thing I think he said was, "This is great. We are so thrilled that you've managed to find this out. We are going to go for..." And we were just joking.
Oh.
Suspended for a week. It was... And, yeah, I really want to apologise to Miss Cockaday.
Did she cry or anything?
She was brilliant.
She did cry.
That's a heartbreak. That's
It
out
is
of order.
heartbreak. All right, murderer.
Anyway, time to reveal our mystery guest. Is it Lucy's beleaguered bride, Rylan's taunted teacher, or Fatia's drowning victim? Who is it? Now, Gemma, talk us through this. How many bridesmaids did you actually have at your wedding? Be honest.
I only had 2, actually.
They were taller than me, though, weren't they?
I don't think your height was a problem. I think it's personality.
To be honest with you, I was trying to cut costs.
Oh. She was too expensive for the fee, yeah.
Did she try and feed you cat shit at all?
Yeah. It was one of my oldest friends, and then I kind of had to have my sister-in-law because I was her
of course.
bridesmaid.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then
Lucy's way down the pecking order, isn't she?
Did you have her as a bridesmaid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. Oh, Gemma, that's...
Before or after?
After.
Oh, that's
And,
lovely, yeah.
after I'd ruined the atmosphere by the passive-aggressive poem.
It is hard, though, at weddings. I had, like, 12.
Did you?
Did you?
Yeah, but I'm divorced now, so fuck that.
Are you still married?
No.
See you later.
Gemma, what did you make of Lucy's poem when she read it out?
It was a surprise.
Can we hear it again? Because I
Yeah,
didn't
come on, Lucy. Come on, Lucy, please.
I feel awful now. There are people dying, wars being fought, families being torn apart, but you just enjoy yourselves.
Amazing. Thank you so much to our mystery guest, Gemma. Thank you. Now, Ryan, we didn't manage to get Ms. Cockaday.
I'm gutted.
But we did find your old headmaster.
Oh, my God, that's Mr. Wellington!
Oh, my God, no!
Oh, my God. No, honestly, no, genuinely, you do not realise what you've just done. That man there changed my life. He was always there for me. I've not seen that man since. I love him. I love that man. He's the kindest man you'll ever meet. Oh, my God, that's really made my day. Honestly, that is so lovely. I could literally cry. Not that I've ever cried on telly before.
Rylan, you actually lose points because that was actually quite nice.
Fuck you, Mr. Wellington.
Apologies, please, to the unfortunate person in our booth. This person is known to one of our guests. Here are some clues to help. Is it a gloomy rub-down, break hearts at Tiffany, or a grievous girlfriend's father? Now, Shirley, who do you need to apologise to?
And I'd like to apologise to my then first fiancé. So I got an opportunity when I was about 14 years of age to leave home and move in with a gentleman called Nigel Tiffany. He was the British ballroom champion, fantastic, and I was really just a nobody. And at 16, we decided we were going to get married. We were the couple. You know, it was just beautiful. And my dance teacher called me. So I'm just 16 years old, and she said to me, "So what do you want in life, Shirley? Do you want to be married and have babies with Nigel? Or would you like a shot at being the world professional Latin American champion? Because I've got just a partner for you." So can I go home and talk to Nigel? And she said, "Nope, you've got 10 minutes. She said, "and I would suggest you don't tell Nigel. If you're going to come for the tryout with this certain dancer." And after 10 minutes, I knew I wanted to have a go. So I said, OK, I'll take the tryout tomorrow, thinking I'd go home to this very understanding fiancé who I adored and I really loved. He was doing the ironing when I walked in.
Oh, my God, he sounds
He was
amazing.
doing all my ironing, my big girl knickers. He was ironing them, my blouses. It was all hanging. "Hello, darling. Hello, darling. How's your day?" So I went on to explain to him what had happened that day at work. And he said, well, it's either me or that.
Oh,
Take
no.
your pick. No. So off I went and I became that world professional champion. But I can, 1 minute, all emotional. I can honestly say with my hands on my heart, he was the right person at the wrong time. Oh. So if there's anybody in my life that I owe an apology to, it would have to be to Nigel Tiffany, who gave me my start, who loved me more than any man ever loved me in my entire life. And I mean that from the bottom of my soul.
Oh.
If it is him, would you go off with him now?
Surprise! Oh my God!
I tell you, I don't think it's him, but if it was ever to be him, I would.
Oh my God! I Shirley, are you with anyone now?
Yes. I am, yes.
Oh,
really
that's
happy.
going to be a bit complicated.
I know. Danny, I love you.
Shirley! Ross.
Can't beat that.
No.
But it's 1986, and used to hang around like South Kensington, which was a melting pot for lots of different people. There were lots of what were called Sloanes in those days. I met this posh girl, and then she said, I think you should come home, back to Hereford, to meet the family. So we go there, and the dad picks us up in his Range Rover. And I quickly work out that he doesn't like me, she's not that keen, her mother is not that keen on the thing that's just walked through the door. I've got blonde quiff, highlights, I think I might have been wearing leg warmers, something like that. Fame had just happened. She said, I'm going to go for a ride. And I was, OK. And she said, why didn't you muck out while I'm gone? So I kind of helped muck out the stables. And the dad, he said, why are you going out with my daughter? I mean, you're not really suited, are you? And I was like, well, I'm prepared to muck out the pee and the poo. And then I was asked to whitewash the walls of one of the outbuildings. I'm like tap dancing lovey. And then he said, oh, there's a couple of tiles loose on the other outbuilding. Would you mind, coming and helping me? He just stood there and smoked a cigar and held the ladder while I was up there nailing in slate.
You're joking.
So when he got to that night, I said, well, obviously, Mummy and Daddy don't want you coming into the house. What? So I slept in an outbuilding. Whoa. So the next morning, I say, this isn't going well. And she said, no, it's not going well, is it? And I said, no, I want to go. She said, well, my father will have to drive you to the station. And he tells me how I am just totally unsuitable for someone of his daughter standing. Oh. And we stopped at a petrol station. I knew how far we were from the railway station. And he said, look, just pop some diesel in the car. I go and get some more cigars and pay the bill. So I did pop something into his diesel Range Rover. I filled it up with unleaded.
Very good.
Brilliant. Rosie, please unburden yourself.
I'm doing quite well. I like to treat myself to a weekly massage.
Nice.
And we got to know each other. We started talking a bit, but during the massage, I like to be quiet. I like to enjoy it. Also, I am very nearly naked. And then my shoes, unfortunately, were going through rental problems.
Right.
And more, week on week, she kept bringing all her problems to me. And I'm quite a political person, and I speak out about how shit the world is. But I really want to have a lovely massage without blah, blah, blah. And I know it's shit, and I understand that me getting a massage in the house that I have bought is privilege on privilege, but she's a bit complaining. So I'll let her go.
Oh.
Am I a bag of shit?
I think you are a bag of shit, Rosie.
She rubbed you up the wrong way, didn't she?
She just killed the vibe.
Yeah.
I totally agree. If you're having a massage, you want a happy ending. Time to reveal who secreted in the booth. Is it Rosie's maudlin masseuse, Shirley's ex-lover Nigel, or Ross's Vin Diesel daddy-in-law? Our mystery guest is about to be revealed. It is, of course, it's Nigel Tiffany.
Stand over here and get a little bit. Should we go back in the booth? Oh my God. Shirley, he's really hot. Anybody who ends up with you is really getting a treasure.
Are you single, Nigel?
Oh, do you iron her pants, Nigel?
No, Shane's mine.
Yes, yours! Amazing. And Nigel, do you still dance?
Yes, I'm still involved with dancing.
Yeah? If there were a little bit of music, might we ask the pair of you?
Oh, yes.
Have we got a little bit of music, guys?
Oh, come on.
Lovely. Nigel, thank you so much. Ross, you mentioned tap shoes earlier. Do you want to have a go, Ross?
No.
Come on, Ross. Gorgeous. I tell you what, those gangs are going to be shitting themselves. In this round, a mysterious somebody is going to be placed in the booth. But, and we've thought about this, it isn't just anyone. It's a person to whom one of you, reprobates, owes an apology. I'm going to ask you to think about exactly who it could be and what you need to be sorry for. To help you, we do have some clues. Is it a forget-me-snot, a groom without a view, or was somebody caught short in the royal court? Carol, your apology, please.
So, one of my best friends, Nathan Sussex.
Thanks for the full name, Carol.
Lovely. We used to, before I got sacked from the BBC, do a radio show together on a Saturday. So he was getting married to Jamie.
Right.
So we were talking about this wedding for, at least 2 years, right? So, and these enormous, like, Ukrainian roses were coming in and they were shipping in, and then it was China was the save the date card, everything. We'd talk about it on the show. It's like, I knew every detail about this wedding.
Yeah.
Day of the wedding, we all turn up. There are about 200 of us, and it was so over the top, so camp. It was just magnificent. At 9 o'clock, they had to change the big room round for the disco. There was another 100 people coming.
What?
Yeah. So we talked about our outfits for, like, months. Yeah. So I had this green rhinestone dress on for the day. I got this latex black dress, you know, and the long gloves and all of this for the nighttime do.
Wow.
So they're going, oh, we can't wait. So all my gay friends going off here, go. Oh, we're just going to change. We're just going to change. We're just going to change. I get to my room. I think I'll just have a little power nap. I'll just nod off for 5 minutes. 6 hours later, I'd missed the disco. I'd missed the fireworks, which would make, like, Sydney Bridge look like nothing on New Year's Eve. They'd been knocking on my door. I had, like, 273 messages on my phone. They could find me.
Boards!
I know. I've felt completely shamefaced ever since.
Carol Snorderman. My friend slept through a funeral.
What?
Yeah, it's been 4.5 years now.
Oh, it's awful. Now, Dan, you're up next. Who do you need to apologise to and for why?
I think I was about 18, 19. My mate James, who's a proper like wine-up merchant, sneezed in my face. I know. It wasn't like bad, like it wasn't a bad sneeze, you know what I mean? But it was like just disrespectful.
Yeah, awful.
Yeah, not
awful.
Ideal.
Yeah.
Not what I wanted.
No.
It's bullshit. And then weeks later, we were getting a train, a busy train. And as the train pulled in, I felt the biggest sneeze coming on. And James was just stood in front of me. And I thought, time for my revenge. So I've gone to sneeze in his face. But unbeknownst to me, I had brewing the worst sneeze imaginable. It was like something from a cartoon.
It's Ghostbusters.
Yeah, it was
it's Ghostbusters.
Guns just like hurts his face. It's in his eye and that. He's like in pain. He's embarrassed. Everyone on the train's looking at him like he's a Doctor Who monster. And then he didn't say bless you, which is fucking weird.
Wowzers.
Bloody horrible. Bloody horrible.
All right, at least I didn't try and give myself an enemy. Come on, no judgment here, eh? Fuck me. Yeah, I put my nose on a water jet to get it from...
Rafe's ball, stall no longer, my friend.
Yeah. I was doing this play in a theatre called the Royal Court, and at the beginning of the play, the audience came in and I was already in a bed, and the covers were over my head, so that people couldn't see who it was, but they could see there was someone in the bed. Basically, I want to apologise to some audience members in that show.
OK.
Right? The first thing that I want to apologise to them for was they were sat there and I could hear them saying, oh, I'm so excited about this. I've always wanted to see Timothy Spall in a play. And I can't believe he's doing a play in such a small theatre. This is really exciting. I'm under there going, you're going to be so disappointed when I come out. What a shame.
And yet, if it was a bed with a man in, I'd rather you than your dad, because I've already been there.
Right.
Yeah.
You've done that. So then the play starts, and then what I'm supposed to do is someone else comes in, and I'm in boxer shorts, and that's it. And I'm supposed to get out of the bed and then sit up on the bed like this. And there's people about as close as you are now to me. And I got out of the bed, I sat like this, and I saw the same people who were expecting Timothy Spall just do this. And then I could just feel that my entire cock and balls was out. I didn't want to, like, look down. So you've got to do a thing of maintaining eye contact whilst having a sort of cabinet reshuffle, trying to get it back in there, you know.
Yeah, and they were having a bad time. They wanted Timothy Spall, they got Timothy Ball. He's here for a reason.
Now, I think it's time to reveal our mystery guest, don't you? Yeah. Is it Carol's snoozed-on groom, Dan's sneezed-on sidekick, or is it the entire audience of the Royal Court Theatre? Mystery guest, please reveal yourself. Come out of the booth. Who's it gonna be?
Who's it?
I love you, babe.
I haven't seen him since I got sacked.
She's left me.
I love him.
Now, Nathan.
Right, come on.
Can I just say, your wedding sounds absolutely incredible.
Oh, you should have seen it. Honestly, it was like Dynasty on crack. Wasn't it?
She doesn't know.
We were a bit late having dinner, and there was a costume change.
Yes, we heard.
So it was glitz and glam in the evening, right? She goes upstairs. Where's Carol, everyone says? I don't know. I was running around in a garter and a tiara. I didn't know where she was. so we had the first dance, fireworks. Not even a Catherine wheel could wake this bitch up. She was... she was fast asleep. She was like this upstairs in her room. Honest to God.
Nathan, literally the hours
Yeah.
passed. Were you just kind of looking at your watch thinking, well, it's 2 in the morning, where's
Well, I
the
thought
board?
she'd gone home. I thought, oh, do you know what? She's had a lovely day. She needs a nana nap lover. Come on, she's getting on.
Nathan, what is that in your...
Right, OK, so I had this cake made. It could have been one of your something borrowed.
Yes.
Yeah, but you missed this.
I did.
I looked like shit on a stick the next morning, right? She comes out bright as a daisy in her leggings.
Of course,
looking really
she
fresh.
had a full 9-hour kip, for God's sake. So good. Nathan, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So lovely. Wow. Fuck it, let's do round 2. Yeah? Sorry seems to be the hardest word. What we've gone and done... I'm sorry to my mum. I just swore on telly.
Your mum calls you a bitch all the time.
Now, what we've gone and done is take somebody from your past, my friends, and lead them into our booth of truth. And if being wronged by one of you lot isn't bad enough, we've put a stupid hat on them to disguise their identity. I'd like to hear, please, from each of you who you think this might be. To help you out, here are some clues. Was it a risk taker with a mint matchmaker? Or did somebody cause a ruction with a surprise abduction? Or did somebody snitch on the bitch of bitches? Right, Daisy, your big old sorry, please, my dear.
Oh, God. I mean, this is to Judith, who I haven't seen since I was about 10.
Right.
And I'm terrified. I really hope it's not her.
OK.
Me and my brother, when we were kids, and there was a very sweet couple. They ran a B&B, and she would often sunbathe topless in the garden out the back, and it had just... Oh, my God, is she nodding her head? If that's her!
There is a nod. There's a bit of a nod going on there. Who knows?
Could you just stick your boobs to the door and we'll see if we recognise them?
So it had been my, 10th birthday, and I'd been bought, some mint matchmakers, which I fucking hate, by some miserable old aunt, probably. So me and my brother were really bored, and we saw her sunbathing next door, and we decided to play darts with these mint matchmakers on her tits.
Long ones or the short ones?
They're short, they were like that.
Nice, so you've got loads of them.
If you landed one down here, you could have said that's your snatch maker.
So it was 25 points for getting it on the tit, and then it would be 50 to get it on the areola, and then 100 to get it in the nipple. So we were fucking doing it all afternoon, and the sun got hotter and hotter, and she was asleep. We had this melted chocolate, and we waited, and she woke up, and she looked down. It was like, what the fuck? Oh, God, don't let it be her. I thought I'd take that to my grave. I don't want to see it again.
Emmanuel, who do you think it would be?
I may have kidnapped a friend of mine on a special day.
Oh.
One of my other friends, Oddie, we called Wayne up because we wanted to go drinking. He said no because it was his anniversary with his partner. And we thought, he's lying. So...
No, he knows about your flaming arsehole.
We drove round to his house and we thought we're not going to give him a chance to explain and lie to us more. So we literally knocked on the door, and the moment he opened it, we just grabbed him and threw him in the car and drove off. And we drove from London to Northampton. And he protested a lot. We were like, look, we're a solid 50 miles away now. We could let you out here, but you're not getting home, so you might as well enjoy yourself. And then we took him back the next day, and it turns out he was telling the truth. And when we kidnapped him, she was apparently upstairs in the shower getting ready, so must have just come down and he wasn't there.
Wow.
And,
God, that explains what's happened to so many of my ex-boyfriends.
we took him before he could grab his phone, so they're not together now. But in fairness, he's now married with 2 children, so really, I kind of did that, so...
But, Emmanuel, is this something you do often? I mean, is this some service you provide? Because I have a lot of enemies that I want to get rid of.
Yeah.
And you never said sorry to him?
What for?
Ardal, what's your apology?
I need to apologise to a neighbour, Brenda. And I need to doubly apologise because I'm not even sure if that's her name. A few years ago, we had a fabulous dog called Brody, a rescue dog. And Brody was old and infirm and had got into very bad habits. Every night, Brody would go for its last walk of the day on its own. So we'd just walk up to the bus stop, have a quick wee, and then come home again. And then one night, Brody didn't come home. So we're all panicking, and we're looking in lanes and skips and gardens and everything, and my daughters are putting up posters of the dog on trees, and we're distraught. And 3 days later, still no sign of the dog, so we're totally prepared for the worst. So one of my daughters doesn't give up. She goes online, she finds this lost dog website, and there's Brody looking out at us. Overweight dog found in such and such an area.
Wow.
And it's our dog, and so we're delighted. And there's a number there. So we ring the number, and it's this lady, Brenda. She was a leading member of the dog community. So our dog had a little mini break.
Like Wayne.
Yeah,
like Wayne.
With Brenda, against its will.
Yeah.
So we rang the number, the dog was returned. She scolded us a little bit for, allowing the dog to do this sort of thing. And we were just delighted to see the dog. But anyway, a few days later, I was on a radio show in Ireland, on national radio, and the presenter happened to mention that he'd got a new dog. And he asked me, did we ever have a dog? And I said, funny you should ask. Last week, my dog was kidnapped. And then I kind of embellished the story for comic effect and talked about the 3 or 4 days my dog was in captivity and imagining what it got up to and all that sort of thing. And I got home about an hour later, and I was delighted with myself, thinking, that went really well.
Smashed it. National
Smashed
radio.
It. Yeah.
Hilarious.
The country thinks I'm hilarious.
Hilarious.
And an hour later, the doorbell rings.
Oh.
And it's Brenda. And I run and hide behind the washing machine, and it's my safe space. And my wife answers the door, and she goes, "Oh, he's inside, come on in." And so Brenda comes into our house, and I come out from behind the washing machine, and I go, it's yourself. She's really upset. She said that I humiliated her on national radio, and I trashed her reputation in the dog community. And all for the sake of a cheap laugh. So.
And now we're doing it again.
I know.
It's time to reveal our mystery guest. Is it Emmanuel's abducted buddy, Wayne, Ardal's nosy neighbour, Brenda, or Daisy's chocolate-breasted neighbour, Judith? Mystery guest, please reveal yourself. Oh. Who's it gonna be? It's Wayne! Right, Wayne, give us the ruddy lowdown on Northampton's night spots.
It was my anniversary, a special anniversary, and I booked a restaurant, cab was on its way. I opened the door and I'm greeted by him with a big grin on his face. Next thing I know, I'm in the back of a car on the way to Northampton. And then I don't come back until the next day.
What did she say, your girlfriend?
Yeah.
The golf clubs are in the front room. So when I come home, I've met eyes with her, and the golf clubs are there. I was that close to getting killed by a 7-up.
Oh, wow.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I think we're waiting for an apology of some sort.
Oh, I really don't want to. Wayne, I can't.
No.
I really tried to then as well. I really want to be sorry. I'm sorry.
Thank you so much for coming. Wayne, everybody! It's awful. awful, isn't it, apologising? Listen, I've never been in the wrong, so I wouldn't know. But apologies are on the cards right now. For secreted in our truth booth, we have a mysterious person. And one of you dastardly wrong-uns owes an apology to them. Who could it be? Nobody knows. Was someone a rotter to Cotter? Did someone make revenue from a number 2? Or is it a royally ducked-off partner? Omid, you're up, my friend.
Just to be clear, what we're going to talk about, it could be that shape there.
Yeah.
Because I just thought there's no way the person I need to apologise to looks like that. But they could be in a costume. That could be.
That's it.
Oh God.
He's got the format of the show.
Oh, wait, no.
Yeah.
So hang on. They could be here. They could be
here.
My goodness, this is quite high stakes for me because this is bad. Well, you should know in the late 90s, the way comedians made money, we used to do a weekend at Jongleurs. Jongleurs was a chain of comedy clubs. And I'd worked my way up from being an opening act, then I was a middle act, then I was a closing act for about a year. But I remember thinking, how can I make more money from you guys? They said, if you would like to MC, I'd never MC'd before. And sometimes you get a North American comic comes, like you'd have a Patrice O'Neill, who was like really big comics. And there was one Canadian guy, I hope that's not him, there's a guy called Simon B. Cotter.
Right.
Who was clearly better than everyone on the bill. And I was the MC. Got the first act on, you do 10 minutes, and I used to finish the evenings with a big disco dance.
I remember it.
So I'm planning I'll do it at the very, very end.
Yeah.
So I get Simon B. Cotter on. He's been so brilliant. And then he goes, thanks very much, guys. Good night. And he got a massive round of applause. And he went off and he stood by the side of the stage. I said, why is he still there? You should go inside. He's like saying, get me back on again for the encore.
Oh, wow.
And I go, do you want some more? People go, yeah. I said, you want some more? They go, yeah. I said, put the music on. And I started doing disco dancing. So I stole his encore. So while I'm doing the disco dancing...
It's really good. It's good.
While I'm doing the disco, I'm looking at him, he's like going... And when it finished, I said, thanks so much, good night. And we went into the dressing room. He goes, dude, what the hell were you doing? He goes, that was my encore. I said, I think you'll find they wanted more from me. I did really well all night. And he went, dude, you're a disgrace. He complained, and they never booked me again.
Oh, my God.
Jongleurs never booked me again.
Whoa.
I never got to apologise to him. So if that's him there, it's a rare opportunity to apologise.
If that's him, he wants to see you disco dance.
Right, Joel, who do you owe an apology to and why?
I think I owe an apology to my wife because we just recently had a baby and I hate spending money. Like, I really...
You're mega tight.
But we were lucky enough to go private for the birth.
Oh, you get a duvet and stuff like that.
You get a duvet in hospital.
Yeah, a sheet and a blanket, and then they kick you down the hallway and say, all the best, push it out.
It's most money I've ever spent in my life on nothing. And so I wanted to get the most for my money as possible.
The birth of his first child, I want to make sure I'm getting everything I've paid for.
Can you give birth to it? Can you put it back in and then get it out again? That'd be fantastic, thank you. But it was a very long birth. It was about 36 hours. At some point, you know, we were very much in the zone. We're just having contractions. My wife's being incredible, and it's all happening. And this lovely lady comes in, and she sort of hands me a menu. And I'm like, is this included? And she's like, yes. And so I picked the most expensive thing I could sort of see. And I'm going to say another 4 hours later, Hannah's then really in the throes of it all. Gown is off, it's just contractions are happening. I'm there just going, it's going to be OK. And every contraction takes you closer to your baby. Then that's pretty much the moment where a duck with red wine jus arrives. I made the whole room stink of duck, and then we both had a tiny little nap, as you do, just before you're about to do this big push thing. Hannah woke up from a nap, and they were like, it's now time. The doctor said,
She's got to go for it.
Time, you've got to push, you've got to go for it. Your child is going to be born. And Hannah was like, OK, I'm ready. And she looked around, and I was not in the room. And she had to be like, where's Joel? And the doctor then had to say to her, he's next door having a lamb shank.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Amazing.
Did you have any pudding?
I did. They gave me an ice cream.
Joel, I need to ask you one thing.
Yes.
Did you cut the cord before or after the cognac and cigars?
In fact, I cut the cord with a cigar cutter.
It's a bloody excellent story, that.
Yeah,
it's
great.
really strong. Very good.
I'm sorry, I feel bad.
Lindsay, who do you need to apologise to and what for?
When I was young, there was a girl I used to go to school with called Claire, and I thought she was my friend. And one week we went up to our local forest by my house called the Licky Hills. We'd go up, and one time we were just mucking around in the forest, and she said, I need a shit. So Claire just does a shit in the middle of this forest area, and I just go, you've got to go, you've got to go. Next day at school, I find out she's been calling me rat eyes to people. It's awful. And also, one time I found this out later, she'd put blue tack in my hair and it got stuck, and she'd convinced me a ghost had done it, and it was her. So what I then started doing was, if someone gave me 20p, I'd take you up into the forest and show you Claire's shit.
Great. It's brilliant.
I made about £3 something.
20p in the hand is worth a poop in the bush.
True.
Definitely. So, let's wrap up. Is that person over there...
Oh, God.
Lindsay's exploited turd maker, a.k.a. Claire? Omid's outraged Canadian encore artist? Or is it Joel Dommett's wound-up wife?
If that really is him, I'm off. I'm not hanging around here.
OK, mystery guest.
Is this the start of the disco dance? I can't tell.
Who knows? Mystery guest, please reveal yourself. Who is it? Who is it? Who is it?
What are you doing here? What are you doing here? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Omid. Omid,
I'm so relieved, but where's the baby?
He's having a lamb shank at home.
Hannah, I've got to say, 9 weeks after having a baby, I mean, you look absolutely bloody radiant. Yeah. There's a whistle.
A wolf whistle's a step too far.
Right, Hannah, you were there giving it your absolute blooming all. I mean, it is really hard work there, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you're looking over and he's got blooming duck jus. Did he have the full napkin and the silver cutlery?
It was the cloche.
There was a cloche?
There was a cloche.
He never told us.
There was a cloche. I was trying to play it down. There was a cloche.
You can't play down a cloche. That really did it for me. But the funny thing is that he paints it to me like this emotional Last Supper, just him on his own. Like, he literally says, I was eating that ice cream and just thinking, my life's about to change.
Hannah, he needs the gong. Let's give him the wrong gong. Extra points.
I love this.
No, I have to say, Hannah, and this is absolutely true, I remember giving birth and being in that stage where I was bellowing like a cow. I was literally going, "Ngo, ngo, ngo," like that. I looked over to where my husband was. He turned around and he was shaking with laughter.
I can imagine, Mel, if you're at that point where you're like, go, go, and someone comes in and goes, anyone for the duck?
But here you've got me a ham sandwich that was left so long. Yeah,
I know,
a ham sandwich.
but it's just easily collectible to put in the mouth. Because I felt like you would have spilt the jus. We needed to know what was bodily fluids and what was jus.
He had duck with with jus out of a cloche and you had a ham sandwich out of a machine. That's another rock song for Joel Dommett.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
He's apologised.
I'm really sorry. I love you.
Aw.
I love our child, and you're a wonderful mother.
Everybody, thank you so much, Hannah.
Thank
you. I love you, darling.
Very funny.
We've invited the victim of one of your misdemeanours to hole up in person in our confessional booth. But who could it be? And which one of you is going to have to apologise? I can't find the clues. Lou, have you got the clues?
I haven't got any clues. I don't. Is
Have
this?
you got
Am I
the
supposed to have the
clues?
clues?
I don't know.
I've got them, Mel.
Oh, thank you. It's lovely. Lovely to see you again. Oh, I guess. That's lovely. Yep, still smells of prawn cocktail crisps. That's great. OK.
Is there money in the budget for me to have a special super fan? I'm genuinely quite scared of him.
Now, team, could it be the victim of some very nautical behaviour? Could it be somebody committing a crime at the pantomime? Or Ruby's newbie booby? Nish, your apology, please.
OK, if it's this person, they probably would be in their rights to punch me in the face. Here's the thing. In 2005, I joined a sketch comedy group at my university.
Of course you did.
Because I was trying to kiss some ladies. I didn't find any of them at the debating club.
Nish, what is this, by the way?
That's the Portaloo action. But there were two other people.
I went to university in Durham, which is a very beautiful city, but it's on a river, and there's a bar called Jimmy Allen's, and you can come out the back of Jimmy Allen's and you just be on the river. And we'd been drinking probably for about 4 or 5 hours at this point. And we got out and we decided that we were going to go in the river. And so one of my friends is actually a very respected academic. I will maintain his anonymity.
Let's call him the Professor.
Let's call him the Professor. The other two are comedians, so fuck them. Tom Neenan was there and Ed Gamble was there. And so the four of us were all going in the river. So we stripped down to our underpants, and the only way to get into the river was by jumping on a boat. And so Tom the Professor jumped on the boat and then jumped into the river. And then me and Ed Gamble, we jump onto the boat and jump into the river. And there's a moment where you're in the river where you're like, well, we're just in the river.
Is it sort of Nish out of water?
Thank you, Lou Sanders. Thank you. That's why we pay Ella Butts.
So after about a minute of just everybody freezing, Tom and the Professor get back on the boat and then jump back onto dry land. Me and Ed jump onto the boat and then the boat sank. It was a tiny little rowboat that was designed for tourists to go up and down the river. And then the next day, I went back and you could just... The boat was just like that. It was completely destroyed.
So you want to apologise to somebody for wrecking their living?
Someone in the Durham area...
Lost their living that night.
Well, I lost one of their 3 boats. So lost only a third of their living.
It doesn't feel like an apology.
Someone had heard that if you go in the river, you could get Weil's disease that you
It's
get
from
from
rats. Rats' urine. It's not funny, Weil's disease.
It was...
It's not funny.
Does it hang out or no? That's something else.
Oh, that's piles! Piles and piles.
The grapes of wrath.
I've got the grapes of wrath, big time. Massive grapes wafting in the breeze. My name's Mel Giedroyc. They call me Mel Giedroid. They're so bad. No, they are. Ruby, can we have your big sorry, please?
So when I got pregnant, I married my husband because I had 1 egg left. 1 egg coming down the pipeline. So I got pregnant, but I didn't read the manuals. You know, you're supposed to read that thing. And my waters broke, actually, in an Indian restaurant on a man next to me, because it was a bench, and I went, surf's up. Anyway.
Ruby, do you know what a Ruby Murray is?
Oh, it's a curry.
No, it's Andy Murray's auntie.
What the fuck was that? What in the name of God did I just sit through?
So So I go to the hospital, I know nothing. They gave me...
Wait, that's not the person you want to apologise to.
So they give me a cesarean because, you know, I still want to do my blow the ping pong ball act. You know, I got a career. He's born, and I knew nothing. I'm in a room with a woman, and I don't know what to do, so I keep waking her up at night and saying, when there's like, you know, what's the stuff?
Yeah.
What's all the skin on his, you know, I didn't know anything, and at one point, I really didn't want to have my breast touched. So she was milking hers, and I kind of put him near her breast. And then she woke up and she said, I want her out of here. So I said to the nurses, no, it's okay, because I thought they recognized me from television. I don't need my own room, I'll share with her. And they said, no, she wanted you out of there. I apologize to that woman.
Wow. Thank you very much, Ruby, Ruby, Ruby. On to Ruben, Ruben, Ruben.
Yeah?
Who do you want to apologise to and why?
Well, I guess I didn't realise I had to apologise to Jamiroquai or possibly a still from the Kennedy assassination. In my earlier days, I did panto, and I had a panto dame who was really lovely, and she had this moment where the panto dame comes out with a big tray of sweets and starts throwing sweets to the kids.
Yeah.
And you get a bit mischievous in car, so I sometimes would find little pranks to play, and one of the things I did was I'd put funny things on the bottom of the tray, like
Lovely.
little photos of us.
Lovely.
So I was going to make this person laugh, so one time I just put a photo on the bottom of the tray and covered it all up with sweets, and when she came out to throw the sweets, the photo was revealed, and it was a photo of me with one of the candy canes up my bum.
Listen, I was actually at that performance. I thought the candy cane was covered in chocolate.
Was it the hook side or the... Because I don't understand. No.
So I had to go another step further, and look, I'm Australian. I don't really know your history, so I don't know how this is going to go. So I put a photo of Myra Hindley's headshot on the tray and covered it up.
I've actually frozen.
And that's the reaction I was frightened of. And of course, she comes out and goes, hello, kitties, and starts throwing it off and reveals things. Goes, oh, that's enough sweets for today.
Wow. So the mention of the MH words, that's a wrong gong, which is very bad, but also very good because you get extra points.
Ruben, I've got a pantomime joke. Where's Russell Brand's career? It's behind YouTube.
Oh, Myra Hindley is like your prank. She's very Moorish. Now, that's actually worse, isn't it, team? Somebody's actually going like that. I'm going to wrong gong. No, you wrong gong me. I didn't need to say that. It's awful. Wrong gong me, and do it here as well. Wrong gong me. Come on. Wrong gong me. Wrong gong me. Thank you. I didn't need to say that.
Wow. I never thought I'd see a show where somebody's hemorrhoid got popped.
Actually, they're bad at the moment, Ruby. They're bad.
She makes me cream her on the break.
God, we are a long way from Bake Off.
So, who is the mystery guest? Is it a boat owner here to give you a bollocking, a dame to give you a dame good hiding, or somebody who's not mad about your breast behaviour? Time to reveal our mystery guest. Come on, guys. Who's it going to be? Who is it? No one knows. Literally, blank faces all round.
Well, he's looking at Nish and he's pointing to his T-shirt.
No! It's you! Fuck it! Is it your boat that got...
Yes.
Paul.
Yes.
You remember Nish, of course.
Not really.
Paul, it was a dark, dank night in Durham.
Yeah, but I wasn't there.
Oh.
It's his boat. Are you listening?
But where were you?
In bed, I think.
Yeah, it would have been like midnight. It would have been
Why weren't you guarding the boat, Paul?
He doesn't
Yeah,
sit
this
there
is your
watching
fault,
his boat.
Paul.
Sorry.
Wow.
No, OK, so you weren't there. Nish, over to you, my friend.
I am so sorry.
Oh.
What happened? So the next morning you came down and found just one of the...
Yeah, I came down and, like, the first thing we saw was one of the boats sank, and it was just the start of the day. Just the start of the day, never mind. Then we had to get in another 3 or 4 members of staff to pull the boat out.
Fucking hell!
Yeah.
How much do you think he owes you now with him?
Well,
Yeah.
Thousands.
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 Yeah.
Tens of thousands.
Nish said earlier in the show that if you were to meet the person who owned the boat, they would probably want to punch your face.
Oh.
Yes. Paul, are you a man who feels the need to plant his fist?
No.
Thank God. Thank God.
That is amazing.
Well,
do you want to slap him?
Well, yeah.
In a way, I'm genuinely thrilled to meet you because I have wanted to apologise to you for nearly 20 years. So, officially, on behalf of myself and Ed Gamble, I am genuinely sorry.
Oh, that's really nice. Please give it up for Paul. Thank you, Paul. The mystery guest round. We have... Yeah, we've consensually shoved a person in the booth over there and they're waiting for an apology from one of you twats here. I want to hear who you might think it is in there and why you should be kissing their ass, again, in a consensual way. To help you out, I have lovingly prepared some clues. Is it dropping the ball in a Mexican mall? Emotional scar from a stray Mars bar? Or did somebody make an usher blusher? Tim, unburden yourself.
I just want to make it clear, I am apologizing under duress. My now wife, our very first date was a huge deal. She loved Michael Jackson, and I'm not a fan, because there's lots of people that can sing that don't touch kids. So I got the tickets.
So this was to see Michael Jackson live?
No, to see the play.
Thriller.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
It was winter, and I didn't have a coat. She got really nervous for me, so she put me in a Mickey Mouse sweater. Let's put it this way, I looked like I was having a fun day out. And I'm really nervous because I want to make a good impression. And the usher comes up to me and starts, "Hey, buddy, you like the show?" And I'm trying to hold it together. And he just keeps going. So he goes, "You're looking forward to the show. What's your favorite Michael Jackson?" And I just lost it, and I went, "When he fucked a child." He did leave, but he must have fucking forgotten, because in the break he came back and he went, "How are you doing?" And I went, "Good, but he hasn't fucked a child yet." And that's when he left. But my wife stayed, so I win.
It was a good first date. She should also, along with a jumper, have offered you a pair of Billie jeans.
Yeah. Yeah, but she wasn't my lover yet, so...
Now, Ian, please release that apology.
I took my friend David Bruce, but we call him Brucey, to Madrid for the Liverpool-Tottenham Champions League final, because we both support Liverpool, because I thought I could get him tickets because I'm so famous. Turns out, not that famous. So no tickets. But we're in Madrid, and all the bars are, like, rammed. So my friend, who I told I had tickets, he's got the full kit on. I really let him down. And there was one bar that I knew some Liverpool fans were in, but the queue was out the door. So I had to turn to my friend, who is diabetic, and I said to him, you're going to have to fake having a hypo so we can jump the queue. And he's like, in the diabetic community, that's like, you don't do that. I was like, man, people have done worse. Think of Michael Jackson. So for me, he faked having a hypo. We got into the pub. They'd given him a sugary drink to deal with his blood sugar levels. That then fucked his blood sugar levels. So my friend Brucey in the pub had an actual hypo. We then went back to the hotel. I then got more drunk in the hotel while he sorted out his hypo. I then went back to the pub. I don't remember the rest of it. He had to get me home. And as I woke up the next again day in a hotel in Madrid, and I had to turn to my diabetic friend, did we win?
The man's a lightweight. He can't handle a cola. Come on.
That is low-down, dirty behaviour, but well done.
Thank you.
Alex, who do you need to apologise to, my dear?
I would love it if this next story is Darren Brown tried to hypnotise me.
So I think I need to apologise to Stuart, who was a contestant on a show called La Bamba.
Hang on, is that a sort of precursor to Love Island?
So, similar, right? Oh. So it was my first presenting job, and I'd convinced my best friend to be a contestant because the prize was a holiday to Mexico. And I said, if you win and hook up with a bloke, then maybe I can also come as the host. We'll ditch him. We have a holiday. So my friend, Kat, she was like, oh, all right then, I've got nothing to do. So she comes, she's amazing, and she's got a brilliant personality, and she wins.
Oh, well done, Kat.
And she wins
Lovely.
With Stuart. And then they say, right, Al, you can go to Mexico as long as you film how they got on. So off we went to Mexico, me, Kat and Stuart, and basically it was really hot. And there was a function on the camera, which there was just this sun that kept appearing. Basically, the camera's overheated, I think. I thought, well, there's nothing I can do. Sorry, can't film anymore. So they had 3 seconds of dancing. That was it. Anyway, we went to a nightclub in Cancun, and these men said to me and my friend, come on, girls, you go and dance on the podium. And we were like, no, thank you. We just from Wales, shut up. And they were like, if you dance on the podium, we'll buy you some drinks. We were like, all right, then. So, straight up. And then it got a bit creepy. So we thought, this is not for us. So we pushed on a door, which was a fire escape, and the fire escape went into a shopping centre, which was attached to the nightclub, where we spent the night because the shopping centre was closed. And we never saw Stuart again.
What a story.
So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, Stuart might be in the booth.
Oh, I hope not.
I'd like to think he's still there. What do you think?
So, is that person there in the booth Tim's smooth criminal, Ian's dire bestie, or Alex's ditched date? Mystery guest, please reveal yourself.
No, who is it?
Who's it gonna be?
No way!
Brucey, I mean, what an absolute douche.
Yeah, no, dick, eh?
Unbelievable. What happened?
So basically what's happened is we're off to Madrid to watch the football.
Yes.
Supposed to have tickets.
Did he pay for you all?
Did he fuck? I was sitting there thinking the whole concept of arrange the trip was interesting, but...
He booked the flights and the hotel.
Invited someone else to sleep on the floor.
Oh, yeah, I invited Gareth to sleep on the floor.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I met a guy in the bar, we got along. Interesting side note about Gareth, came to Spain for 2 days, only brought a bum bag with a change of pants.
Then, so yeah, we're supposed to go to the game. We don't go to the game.
Of course you don't, because he hasn't got tickets.
It's now getting close to game time. Everywhere's full.
Yeah.
We then get a message saying, come to this pub. Can't get in. Someone comes out. First of all, they try to do the old lick the hand and pass the stamp over.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that as well. Remember when someone get a stamp to get into a club?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And you'd lick the stamp and put it onto the other person?
Oh, I never did
And then we did that, and then we walked to the front, and the security guy was like, I just watched you.
Brucey, this sounds to me like an absolute duff weekend so far.
The real timing of this is the combination of the heat, the stress, the beer, the totally inappropriate pressure from my friend caused me to actually have a hypo as we were going into...
Oh, yeah.
So maybe it was karma.
So you had 2?
So I had about 5 that night, actually.
Oh, Brucey.
But at least he's alive.
Oh, yeah, I don't think I'd be on this show now going, and then he died.
He's never apologised.
No, certainly not, actually.
Ian!
I am so sorry.
Thank you very much.
Oh, Brucey.
what a nice
big thank you to Brucey. I'm now contractually obligated to introduce round 2, and we'll pretend that I didn't know it was going to happen. Oh, my word. It's round 2. And we have plonked a person inside our truth booth. This person is connected to one of our panel and deserves a ruddy apology. I'd like to hear each of you explain, OK, who you think it could be. Now, to help trigger a memory, here are some clues. Was Fern a fun guy to be with? Was Jordan a TIT in the VIP area? And who framed Foxy Rabbits? Right, let's start with you, Jordan.
All right, so on the last night of my first ever tour with Rizzle Kicks, I was like 19, I think, or 20, and our last show was in Bristol, and we were asked to go to this club. We get given this top VIP area, free alcohol. That time, you know, to us, free alcohol was still like, what the fuck? Like, if it's free, just drink all of it.
I'm still like that. I'm 55. If there's a free snack in town, I'm there.
Unfortunately, our tour manager also thought the same, and he also drank all the alcohol, which you're not supposed to do if you're a tour manager. And we've asked our friend to go and get some girls from the club and ask them if they want to come up to VIP. I know, it's so cliche, isn't it? It's so cliche. And then I was talking to this one girl, and then these 3 guys come over, and they're like, oi, why are you talking to my girlfriend? And I'm like, I didn't know that was your girlfriend. And then he was like, yeah. And then I was like, do you want to talk to your boyfriend? She was like, no. And I was like, oh, this is a drama. You guys should have your drama. And then he gets thrown out the VIP. And then I don't speak to her again in the night. And that's kind of it, right? We leave the club, and I thought, fuck, I forgot my jacket. So I quickly run back into the club. Yeah. As I come back out, the boyfriend of the girl is mouthing off to someone. And because I'm drunk, and I swear to God I meant this in a nice way, I said to the guy, I hope you found your girlfriend, mate. And he hadn't. So he turned around and was like, oh, you pop stars, you think you're all this, and da-da-da-da. Starts pushing me. And I was just said to his mate, like, listen, if you keep pushing me, I'm going to give you a little slap because you're kind of pissing me off. And then I gave him a little slap, and a police car drove past. I was very cold, so they were like, you know, we need to take you to the station. And I was like, well, is the car warm? Yes. So I just got in the car voluntarily. But my tour manager, who was out of his fucking mind, was banging on the police car window going, no, he's got to do Radio 1 Live Lounge tomorrow. And I had to sleep in a cell overnight as well because I was drunk. But I was in Bristol, so I felt a little bit like I was in Hot Fuzz.
I'm going to put you under arrest, my lover.
But then my entire tour management got fired the next day.
Hang on, so your tour manager, the one who drank all the alcohol...
All I'm saying is, in tour management, like, one of the main things you have to do is make sure your artists don't get arrested.
It's normal for for us single celebs, I'm always, wherever I go, like if I go to the post office, I'm like, round up a few of the fellas for me. It's just...
No, but listen, it sounds... Can I say?
I know we do.
I tell you what, Jordan, I've had some pretty crazy times on tour.
Yeah?
Was this Bake Off?
No, it was Calendar Girls. I was with Patricia Hodge.
Here we go.
Don't mess with Pat when she's on a night out.
Patty Hodges.
Patty Hodgie. We got into some trubs deep down in the tea shop. And I got a little bit fisty with a lady selling poppies.
Earl Grey will do that to you.
Anyway, very, very good, Jordan. Fern, I'd like you, please, to dig deep into the sorry quarry. Who do you need to apologise to and why?
I think it would be my boyfriend. I went to Thailand for the first time this year with my little brother. My brother was insistent on taking magic mushrooms. I'm very against hallucinogenics. But then my brother took them and said, it's a therapeutic experience, man. You'll see a spirit guide. I have one called Steve.
That's my spirit guide as well. I can't believe he's cheating on me!
That by the final night, I was like, right, I'm going to take these mushrooms. It's not drugs, it's a spiritual experience. As soon as they kicked in, I picked up a local stray cat and told it that it was going to be my spirit guide. And the cat was talking to me. He said, Fern, sometimes I'm just a cat. Basically, all my uptightness melted away and I started to dance on the beach in my pyjamas. And then I saw some fellow party goers waving torches around, so I did the thumbs up to them and kept dancing. And then my brother, who wasn't on anything that night, as he came back into the driveway, there were lots of Thai police cars there, and the people that I was doing the thumbs up to were the Thai police. Then the happy bit passed and things got really bad. No. This has happened a couple of times when I've had bad drug experiences, is I worry that I'm going to get arrested and then I try and phone the police on myself. But I always do this by texting 999 to my boyfriend. So I text 999 to him and then I text help me with lots of E's.
What, were you on E?
No, just, you know, you text help me.
Okay, so you want to say sorry to your boyfriend who has basically put up with a whole shitload of drug-induced nonsense.
Yeah, and he doesn't take any drugs.
I can't think of anything worse as the partner of somebody about to do a psychedelic trip than getting a text like an hour later saying 999 help me.
Yeah,
that's literally the worst case scenario.
I've got to say, gang, I fell in with some druids. And I took mushrooms, but unbeknownst to me, because it was in a jar of honey.
Brilliant.
So I was like Pooh Bear. I was just shoveling the honey in, and then, gang, oh my, the doors of perception were very much open for business. It was, my brother-in-law turned into a goat.
Yeah,
and I started worshipping him as the great god Pan. So I was down on all fours saying, oh, Pan, Pan, we worship you. It went on for days.
Oh.
I'm never doing that again.
I once took a mushroom.
Yeah.
Oh.
Was it a shiitake mushroom?
Yeah. We made a little risotto. I got persuaded when I was very young of travelling in the Amazon, and I went and did this thing called ayahuasca in the jungle, and I didn't know what it was. And I did ayahuasca, drank this thing, and for, honestly, 8 hours, I thought I was a truffle pig. Yeah.
Guys, I took a load of heroin once and killed a man.
OK, so Fern wants to apologise to her boyfriend.
Yeah.
Jordan wants to apologise to his
TM.
ex-TM,
Yeah.
a.k.a. tour manager, if you're not in the biz. Jamie, who's your apology to, and why?
Our next-door neighbours had a rabbit, and we were looking after the rabbit for the weekend, and on about the Sunday night, I felt bad because we kept locking the rabbit in the cage. So I decided, I said, well, we should let the rabbit have its freedom.
Totally.
So I left the cage open, and when we came back in the morning, it had been killed by a fox, and I didn't know what to do. We thought about buying a new rabbit that looked like the same one, but in fact, I just made a little break into the actual cage, so it looked like the fox had broken in. And I never told my neighbour.
I know what you mean, because one of my friends once asked me to look after her goldfish when she was away, and then I ended up sleeping with her brother.
Oh.
So it's tricky, you know?
I'm assuming, Jamie, that you do want to apologise to the fox.
I want to apologise, not to the neighbour, to the fox.
To the fox?
Yeah.
Well, you've got a little fox sitting right here.
Now, let's all just put our eyes in the direction of the confessional booth. Is it a ticked-off tour manager, a panicked partner, or is it just an actual fox? Please reveal yourself.
Oh, fuck.
Steve, you are Jordan's former tour manager.
Yeah.
I've got to say, you look very tour manager.
I was going to say I could tell because he always wears his fucking collars like that.
When the collars pop, the panties drop.
Please, all we know of you is that you were hanging on to a police car.
I don't remember that bit. So we did this show, finished early, and went to this club, and the balcony upstairs was not open to the public, so they gave us this balcony. We got pretty steaming pretty quick, didn't we?
Yeah.
But your mate kept going down into the club and finding the hottest girls. So we had our own little club going on upstairs.
Sure.
So we got outside, and there was a bit of a scuffle with you and one of the lads, wasn't
Do you
there?
remember the police car, Steve?
I remember the police, yeah, because he grabbed me, you know, and they grab you, and then if you do that, then they do you for assault. So I just put my hands up and went, assault! And he let go of me.
That's
But
what
yeah.
the women in the club were doing as well.
So I do remember, actually, yeah, you got stuck in the car. They took him away. I was like, shit, we were doing the Teen Awards the next day at Wembley.
Oh, the Teen Awards.
Yeah.
This is good as well, Steve. Can I just say, that's
Like that one?
excellent. That's excellent. Pure TM.
Yeah.
Steve, what an absolute ruddy legend.
Yeah.
Let's hear it for Steve.
Big up, Steve.
He's amazing.